to introduce a world-renowned commentator that is here to help us with our very special guest tonight. I hope you'll all help me in welcoming, who made a long trip to get here, Mr. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Thank you very much. It is showtime. I'm actually from Los Angeles. What an honor it is to be here tonight, seeing some old friends, meeting some new folks, and for a very, very good cause, and my opportunity to introduce Colonel Bob Sheridan. Now, you'd think it'd be very easy for me to introduce the Colonel. I've known him for about 25 years. We've done so many fights together. And then, you know, I've introduced fighters around the world in venues around the world in front of millions and close to 1 billion people when I did the Mayweather fight. Colonel, maybe you can verify that. When Mayweather fought Canelo, I think there was close to 1 billion people watching. But let me tell you honestly, this is a difficult task for me to introduce Colonel Bob Sheridan. It's very difficult because I know him well, I want to do him justice. I gotta say, there are not enough words to properly describe him. I think you need to spend a week with him on a cruise ship to really understand and appreciate who he is. I mean, you have to realize that here's a man that we're going to talk about boxing and his background in boxing, but actually, he, former professional baseball player, former professional bull rider, 50 years in radio and television sports broadcasting. He recently broadcast his 962nd world title bout. That's an unprecedented amount when Mikey Garcia fought. Of course, a local phenom, Mikey Garcia, fought on HBO just last weekend. He's worked over 10,000 fights. He's the voice of boxing who was recognized by the World Boxing Hall of Fame, and he indeed is a Hall of Famer. He worked all of Ali's championship bouts. He's worked all of Tyson's championship bouts. He's worked all of Don King's televised world title bouts. And in fact, he worked one fight you're going to hear more about tonight. You think there was drama that occurred in the middle of the ring when Mike Tyson fought Evander Holyfield and the ear bite occurred? Well, there was even more drama outside of the ring. The Colonel's going to tell you that he had just recovered from a heart attack 2 days earlier. He worked that fight, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about that. He's accomplished a lot in the boxing world, but I can tell you as a friend, he's a man of great faith and genuine concern. Let me tell you a brief story. We were going back from after a fight, and there was a woman bus driver who must have had the most boring job in the world because her job was to drive the loop in the airport all day, and she looked so bored and so out of it. And the Colonel leaves me, and he sits right next to her, and he starts to talk to her. And he starts to ask her about her day, ask her about these, and he starts to complimenting her, and he starts to make her feel wonderful. Pretty soon she's laughing, and he gets off the bus, and he gives her a kiss on the cheek, and they're best friends. And I said, Colonel, what's the story with that? And he says, that's what life's all about, is making other people feel better. And I got to tell you that today he is here because he has genuine concern with retired boxers. He is here because he wants to help, and I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, I've never met anyone like him with as big a heart as he has, and as genuine a man who wants to help others. And so he's here to help the Retired Boxers Foundation. He is also here to help the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, as the proceeds of tonight's do go to that. So it may be difficult for me to introduce our keynote speaker, but let me do it as if I were to introduce him from the center of the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, introducing, wearing his traditional dark blue suit, weighing in at a fit and ready 235 pounds. Originally from Boston, Massachusetts, now hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, with a record of over 10,000 fights and 962 world title appearances. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the voice of boxing, the Hall of Famer, the world heavyweight champion of boxing broadcasting, introducing the Colonel, Bob Sheridan.
first off, yeah, this is a little low. Anyway, I'll go back to this one. First off, I want to thank Jimmy for the wonderful introduction. I don't know if I deserved it or not, but I certainly appreciate it, Jimmy. Longtime friend. In fact, I go back, his dad's a Hall of Fame announcer as well. His dad, Jimmy Lennon Sr., was in all of the movies involving boxing from the 20s, 30s, 40s, and then Jimmy fell into his footsteps. And when Jimmy's son was born, James III, he was talking about different names for his son. I said, Jimmy, you gotta go, wait a second, he's James III. And he fought with me over it, and thank God he did name him, and young James is involved in a lot of activities and sports in his own right, but Jimmy Lennon III, you'll be hearing from very soon, I expect. Jimmy, thanks so much. And another dear friend of mine is here, Sheradon, who will speak after me on behalf of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. There's so many people here that I want to thank, and if I do that, then I won't have time to speak to you because there are just so many people that put this together. But I want to give a mention to the people from Product B and Isogenics, Dennis and Sharon Allen. I thank you so much for putting this together on behalf of Alex Ramos from the Nevada Boxing Foundation and Rich Murata in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, which also raises money for indigent fighters. I thank our champion Leon Spinks and all the other fighters that are here. David York for his sponsorship, Major League Baseball players and those who are soon here. David York is the most dynamic young fellow that I've met involved in sports. I went to visit him as one of the sponsors a week or so ago for 10 minutes of his time, and 2 hours later we were still arguing whether it was more difficult to become a professional basketball player or a professional baseball player, and all of us know it's more difficult. You got to have more talent to be a big league ball player than any other sport in the world, and Leon, that's with all due respect to you and the fighters that train so hard. Being a big league ball player is tough, and I know because I was banished from minor league baseball in about 2 weeks after Harry Dalton of the Baltimore Orioles signed me in 1966 out of the University of Miami. I was a third baseman, and I don't know if you ball players will know, but they had a pretty good third baseman with a big club. His name was Brooks Robinson, who was in the Orioles. So I wasn't going anyplace. But because of being released and the club hired me back, I ended up going into broadcasting. So it's through baseball, first at the University of Miami as a scholarship player from Boston, and then going to sign a contract, and it's so hard. You fellas that have made it call to the big leagues, it's got to be such a thrill. I even have a tattoo of the Boston Red Sox logo on my left thigh. That's how much I love baseball. I make my living from boxing, and I bet every single baseball game every day for the last 21 years since I've lived in Las Vegas. So I have a pretty good interest in baseball. And I thank all you players for training with David, and I wish you all the best with it. My favorite time of year is right after the Super Bowl, because then it's not the countdown to Christmas, it's the countdown to spring training. So I'm looking forward to that. There are other athletes that are here from MMA, some female fighters, which I'm very pleased were able to come here. And again, the sponsors, the Players Casino, and everybody, thank you so much. Now, let's get on. I want me to tell you a little bit about my health situation. We'll go back to getting through my career as a hockey player in high school. I played football in high school, baseball. I got into riding bulls in the rodeos as a professional bull rider for about 11 years. I actually raised bulls in my ranch over in Ireland. Ranch, so I got a handful of bulls. One lady from the horsey set one time says to me, she said, well, could you tell me how many cattle you have on your ranch? And I was very proud to tell her I had a bull. And of course, being a horsey person, she says, oh, I see. Little did she know that's the only one I had at the particular time. Anyhow, I raised cattle, purebred cattle for many years. I've been in the business for about 35 years, which is a passion above and beyond boxing and baseball. And so, again, we thank all the sponsors, very, very important. I'll go through my career. Started in broadcasting in 1966. By 1968, I did my first heavyweight championship fight, my first championship fight, as I worked with the Dundee brothers, Angelo and Chris Dundee, in Miami Beach doing radio. So when Jimmy Ellis and Jerry Corey fought in Oakland, California, up in Rich's native territory, we called that fight, and of course Jimmy Ellis went on to win the heavyweight championship of the world. That was my first world title fight. And last Saturday night at Madison Square Garden in New York City, Jimmy Lennon alluded to the fact that I did my 962nd world title fight, and that was a fellow from right here in the Oxnard, Ventura area, and of course that's Mikey Garcia. And both Mikey and his brother Robert said they would be here tonight, but they sent over a lot of different things that perhaps you folks that are in the audience would like to take a look at, because there's some really great sports memorabilia here that you can look like you can pick it up fairly inexpensively tonight. I want that Yankees jersey over there for sure. Rumble in the jungle. So it went like this. From President Mobutu Stadium in Kinshasa, Zaire, Don King Barachas presents the heavyweight championship of the world. Along with David Frost from the deepest, darkest part of Africa, I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. Hello again, everybody, and I went with the Saturday fight. And at the end it was like this, as Ali in the middle of the ring. George Foreman wails at him. George is very fatigued. Ali blasts with the right hand. Look at this. George spins in the center of the ring. Ali throws the left hook. George is ready to go. He goes down and looks like a bull wounded. Ali pulls the right hand. Down goes George Foreman. The count is up to 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. It's all over. Muhammad Ali has regained the heavyweight championship of the world. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our professional athletes and everybody that turned out to support Alex Ramos and Rich Murata. And I thank everybody that was involved. And for those of you who want to get healthy like I did, get on Exogenics Product B, and you too can be healthy like me. At one time I weighed 350 pounds. If you want to go to the Bob Sheridan coma diet, get in a coma for about 8 months, you lose 150 pounds, then get on the Product B and it'll get you back up. Thank you very much, one and all. Most of the praise, the guys that sign my paychecks? What, are you kidding me? With that, I love and leave you all. Thank you so much for supporting Alex Ramos and the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. With that, Rich, I'd like to call you up and say just a couple of words about the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. And this is the founder. He's also the president of the Hall of Fame, Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. He is also a great radio and television announcer. We broadcast many fights together. And no matter how good or bad the fight is, Rich and I have a great time. He also was the announcer for the Oakland Raiders, now then the Los Angeles Raiders football team. So with that, Rich, you don't need me to talk anymore. You're a great speaker in your own right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Colonel. Thank you. Very honored to be here to honor Colonel Bob Sheridan, raise money for the Retired Boxers Foundation. I think the Colonel, and I think you found out why he is, in my lifetime, I've got 2 or 3 people who I consider the most unforgettable characters of my life, and that is one of them right there, Colonel Bob Sheridan. We've had the chance, a lot of people meet me Spinks. A lot of people remember, of course, his great victory over Muhammad Ali, with a shocking upset as a 10-to-1 underdog. I think it was only his 8th professional fight, and he beat the great Muhammad Ali. But Leon represented the United States of America, as did his brother Michael, in the 1976 Olympic Games, the greatest Olympic team that we ever had in the United States in terms of boxing. And the brothers Spinks were there, and they each won gold medals. So we thank Leon for that too. Not just the professional representing the U.S. Tonight, a big kick tonight, meeting a guy by the name of Eddie Contreras. Is he out there still? He was, where are they? Back there. Eddie Contreras was a boxer. I couldn't believe it. The dude pulls out his phone tonight, and he punches it up, and he goes, listen, it's you calling this fight. It's his fight, 1996. He's got it on his phone, beating a guy by the name of Sergio Macias. He fought the first fight in the Anaheim Pond that they ever had at the Anaheim Pond, and we were calling it that night on Prime Ticket, and he's got it, and he's carrying it around on his phone. And the cool thing is that Eddie goes, he said he was back in his dressing room, and you know, he was getting greeted by people before he fought. This, I don't know if it was that night or in a different fight, but he said it was really great for him because, you know, Oscar De La Hoya was there, former gold medal winner, etc. Oscar comes into the dressing room and greets Eddie and thanks him. But then he said, Jimmy Lennon Jr.'s dad, the great Jimmy Lennon Sr., maybe the greatest ring announcer of all time, came in. Now this is after De La Hoya and all these celebrities come in, but when Jimmy Lennon Sr. came in, Eddie Contreras said, I sat there and I peed my pants, I can't believe it! That's the kind of genes that Jimmy Lennon Jr. Comes from. Very quickly, I was fortunate enough to be voted into a couple of Hall of Fames 2 years ago. And I thought because I had moved from Los Angeles, even though you hear me on radio here on KFI in the mornings in Los Angeles, I do the show now from my home in Reno every day, Monday through Friday. And so I'm up there, and I thought, you know, I'm going to support the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Because I was voted into the California Boxing Hall of Fame and the Southern California Sports Council. I want to support the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. So I started looking around for the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, and I started calling people. And much to my shock and surprise, I found out that there was no Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. The mecca of boxing, where it has all the great fights for so many years, no state boxing Hall of Fame. So I set about, I thought I'm going to change that. And I set about and I founded the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, went through all of the legalities to get it done. We're a 501c3 foundation, which means we're a charitable organization, and we support other boxing-related causes, because believe me, in the world of sports, nobody looks out for boxing. Nobody looks out for ex-boxing. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, because these are the most noble of all athletes, the boxers, the great warriors who give everything that they've got in the ring, basically naked, fighting against another man or a woman face to face. And it's amazing what they give, and nobody helps. So we set out, we decided we're going to have a twofold mission in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. One is to honor the greats in the ring who have contributed to building boxing in Nevada, and the other was to help boxing-related causes. So last year, in our first year, we had a gala dinner in Las Vegas.
I want to thank everybody for coming here and showing up to support this event. I know you can't tell it by looking at me. I don't look like these baseball players, but DY did actually train me a couple of years ago. And he actually is probably one of the best trainers in the city that I know of. He actually pushed me to a point where I was skinny. Not anymore so much as it was then, but I'll be back in his gym shortly as soon as the ball players are gone. Players Casino in the patio restaurant are happy to support this cause, because a lot of sports athletes and stuff, when they get to the point in this career where they don't have support from anybody anymore, they were in the limelight. Some of them weren't able to save any money. Some of them were taken advantage of by agents or other people. And this organization has an effort to try and take care of some of these people that need help. So it's my honor to support this. Players Casino also has been supportive of other events in the city. And I started a group about a year ago with my partner, Alec Benke, who's out here. Stand up, Alec. Called Top Players Promotions. One of the reasons why I'm supporting this event is we kind of believe that most of the top boxers in the world will come to Oxnard, Ventura to train. We have some of the best trainers, some of the best facilities in the world to train boxers. But all that money tends to walk out of Ventura County. Nobody comes here to watch them fight, nobody boxes here. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to let the boxers know we'll put you to fight here. So I'm happy to announce that Top Players Promotions, with the support of the Players Casino and Patio Restaurant, is putting on a fight March 15th at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center. The card isn't completed yet, but our two co-main star events, we haven't got their opponents yet. But the two people that will be fighting on the co-main event, I'm happy to announce are both here. One is Maureen, the real $1 million baby Shea. Former WBC World Champion. She will be fighting on our card. The second co-main event. And if I butcher your name, you can beat me up later. Jose Sweet Aguinida. 33-0, former NBA champion, rated #1 in the world. We're going to be having this event at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center. It'll be our first event there. They're working very hard with us. We hope to be able to donate some of the money back to the Retired Boxers Association from this event. We wish for your support. We hope that you'll be able to come out and support boxing in Ventura County. I think it's really a shame that we don't have professional boxing here in town. I'm working hard to find a permanent venue to hold events at. So if you have any questions, our website is topplayerspromotions.com. We'll show you the rest of the card within this week when we finalize. We have our matchmaker from Vegas who's putting the card together. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to come up and talk to me or to Alec. But understand, we don't want boxing to leave this county. We want boxing to stay in Ventura. Thank you.
We just had an amazing event, and we have the team leaders right here. Your name, please?
I'm Sharon Allen.
Dennis Allen.
Tell us about the event, what happened, and what plans do you guys have?
We have a group here in Ventura, and Bob Sheridan's a very close friend of ours. Had died 4 times and came out of the hospital with only about 11% blood flow. At that point, we said, get on Product B, see what it'll do for you. 6 weeks later, he flew to New York and did 6 fights as an announcer, and he's just progressively got better ever since. We invited him here to speak to the group. It then became, I asked him what his favorite charity was. He said the Retired Boxers Association. And so we formed that. All of the people here in Ventura were just extremely supportive and very caring. So we have this great event to raise a lot of money for the Boxing Association.
And Ventura was also, Oxnard was also very important here too. So they did a beautiful job. And like I said, both Ventura and Oxnard has given and given and given, and they're showing what communities can do. They may be large cities in a way, not like Vegas where we're from, but they're still big, but they're still hometown. I mean, I'm just blown away. And we would like to do this event on a yearly basis, so it's something that we want to grow and help all the sports players here. So we're just really ecstatic about being here and feel so warm and welcome. And so take the opportunities to see what your boxers are doing around the city and all the sports, young ones and old ones alike.
It's very impressive. You don't get many organizations helping boxers, and this is a very impressive and honorable mission. And hi everyone, here we are with Alex Ramos. Alex, tell us, what is going on right here?
Bueno, we're having, we got a new partner.
Alrighty, Alex, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can get a hold of us through www.retiredboxers.org.com, and you can also find me on Facebook, which is in the Retired Boxers Foundation, INC period, or you could find me under my name, Alex Ramos, ALEX-RAMOS.
That's an amazing mission that you guys have going. What is your goal with this, your purpose?
By the way, but a lot of fighters, when they retire, they're forgotten about. And a lot of people don't know that in boxing, there's no pension plan, there's no medical benefits, there's nothing for the fighters when their careers are over. So many times you wind up in a place, you'd be surprised where you wind up. I wound up homeless one time.
Well, we'll never forget you. You'll always be in our heart.
All right, thank you.
Hi, everyone. It was an amazing event right here, and I have Hugo Centeno. He's about to autograph a poster for me.
One more announcement we want to tell you about.
Hugo, tell us about your titles.
At the moment, I am 20-0 with 11 knockouts. So it's going great.
Very impressive. What plans do you have? What do you have going? What's going on with your life right now?
At the moment, I just had a tough victory over Angel Osuna. After the fight, he was put into a coma, so it's kind of a bittersweet victory. But we're aiming to fight towards the end of March for a world title.
What do you recommend to youngsters that are good-looking, or well, youngsters in general that want to do boxing? What do you recommend?
If it's something they like and they want to pursue, just to stick to it. You know, it's an awesome road. It's a great road to success. I'd have to say it's hard, but I mean, if they stick to it, it keeps you out of trouble.
Does it require a lot of discipline and training?
I think it requires the most discipline in any other of the sports that we have out there because it's a tough sport.
How did you become a boxer?
As a young kid, I always liked to watch it with my dad, and he used to be a boxer himself, so I kind of just stuck to it, and I mean, the rest is history.
Awesome. How can we get a hold of you?
I am on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's HugoBoss805.
So I bet you have a lot of followers because you're a boxer, and a lot of followers because girls may think you're hot.
Hopefully just because I'm a boxer, that's why I do it.
Well, you know, you heard it out there, girls and guys. This is an amazing sport that'll keep you out of trouble, disciplined, and looking good. Say bye to your fans, please.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Here I am with Jose Aguinega, a great boxer. Jose, what do you have going on?
Well, right now, getting ready for March 15th here at the Upper Roman Arts Center in Oxnard, California.
What's going on March 15th?
I'll be fighting, no opponent yet, but I'll be fighting there March 15th, so you guys can come and watch some exciting fights.
Are you going to be winning?
Hopefully. That's what we're shooting for. I mean, you can never underestimate, your opponents, but hopefully, we're going there to win, and hopefully we get a win.
What's your history like?
Well, at one point I was an ABA champ. I was ranked #1 in the world. And then, I had a little...
2, 3, 7.
I don't know, a little
6.
down that I had, and I stopped boxing for about 5 years almost, and but I'm back and harder than ever.
It's about that. It's about raising up even better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I stopped. I had my down, but we came back, better and stronger, and hopefully we'll do good.
So how can we find you?
Smoke signal. That's about it. You guys can also get a hold of me at Tune Up USA. That's where I'm training at right now, at Tune Up USA on 5th Street and here in Oxnard.
Thank you so much for your time, boxer.
No problem. Thank you.
Bravo, campeón. It's a pleasure for me to be here right here with Ray Windmill White. Ray, how did you get your name?
Jimmy Lennon's father in the early Los Angeles area boxing I turned pro in 1958.
Wow, impressive.
So then after about a year of fighting, his father announced to me one day in the ring on television, and this in this corner is Ray Windmill White. So that's how I got my name.
Did you like it? How did you feel that night?
It was great because, as a general rule, the press, the newspapers always, every time I would throw a funny punch, would put a name to it. So pretty soon I became the Clown Prince of Boxing because of my unusual punches that I used.
Awesome. Tell us about your history, your accomplishments.
My first title was I fought 5 times in Phoenix, 5 times in Tucson. I won the state title of Arizona. Then I went to Texas and I fought the heavyweight champion in Texas and won in San Antonio. Then in Vegas, I won the Nevada state. Then I went to California and I won the California Light Heavyweight Boxing Championship and held it for 5 years. And then Jerry Quarry's brother won the title from me.
commonly think that boxers hate each other, don't get along. Would you agree with that? Or because I've heard boxers say that they actually have respect and appreciation for their other opponents.
Well, when you've been a fighter, you've pretty well had all the ego knocked out of you in sparring and in your different title fights you've had. And by the time the press gets a hold of some of these interviews that you have, what you have to do is try to build up a desire to have you two fight, so they play the good guy, bad guy thing. So as a general rule, most all fighters are very calm and cool and collected after they've been in the top 10 in the world. They've pretty well had all of their ego knocked out of them, so most fighters all like each other.
Very well said. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your history and all your knowledge.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, here I am with this handsome man right here, Shane.
I am Shane Mervo. Huggy Bear is my fight name.
Shane, where does your last name come from?
And you're very, very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Where does your last name come from?
Mervo, it's a French last name, you know. I don't know. I'm not gonna go through the whole history of Mervo, but
And you know what? We're gonna make sure.
Family came back from France 100 years ago. I don't know.
He's 94,
It's French.
Right? 94-year-old World War II.
I have no idea.
We're going to make sure that
talk to us about your title.
My title is AV MMA. I'm the AV MMA light heavyweight champion. That was I won that back in May of last year. I had 5 fights last year. Had a really successful last year. I took about 4 months off from my last fight, which wasn't that successful. Lost my last fight, which is fine. Took care of business. My colleague, my best friend, who's like my family member, Greg Ruthless Rutledge. We're part of, we started our own personal training business, which is called True Grit Fit. And we have our own personal training business, and other than that, we also started, we opened up the gym here in Ventura, KO Gym, with Larry Pollock. So we got 2 things going on right now, which is really great. We're going out in the community right now. We're getting hold of young athletes, inspiring athletes that want to get in shape through strength and conditioning, whether it's weightlifting, powerlifting, or just anybody, family members, moms and pops that want to get involved in fitness and want to make themselves better through personal health and well-being. So nutrition, we take a lot of passion in that. So we're really proud that Greg and I started with True Grit Fit and also with KO Gym.
So would you say that success, part of having success depends on having a good trainer and having discipline?
Yeah, you know, the thing about fitness, whether it's strength and conditioning, resistance training, I mean, fitness, you're never gonna stop learning fitness. Whether it's getting stronger, everybody has a passion to getting where they want to be. And it's like, you know, you're never gonna stop learning. I'm a trainer, and I have a trainer. My colleague who with True Grit Fit, Greg Rutledge, he trains me. I train him, you know, so every trainer has a trainer. And I pick apart people from the best fighters, people that are better. I mean, you can't have an ego in this business. If you want to get better, you got to keep learning, you got to keep evolving, because you got to be different from the next guy.
That's very interesting. Where can they locate you?
You can, first and foremost, here in Oxnard and Ventura, you can get a hold of us on www.truegritfit.com. That's Shane Mervo and Greg Rutledge. And also you can also just come down here in Ventura, KO Gym, Larry Pollock's gym. We're the 2 head trainers there. We're also so we're doing 2 things at once right now. We're just getting out in the community, training people. So www.truegritfitness.com, and you can also get a hold of me on Facebook, Shane Mervo. It's ShaneMervau. My number is 805-901-6226. That is my number if you were interested in personal training.
We have a New York Yankees.
So if I want my boyfriend to look like you, I can send him over and you'll make him look like you?
I will kill you. There's only one of me, so
draft pick, Aaron Judge, pitcher, that was with Mr. D.Y. Yorker before he went back to went to spring training to report early for the New York Yankees.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Oxford, Ventura, all Los Angeles, California. I am Shane Huggy Bear Mervo. You can also do mixed martial arts training at West Coast Jiu-Jitsu in Oxnard, California. I'm pointing to Brian Espinosa. That is my other training facility where I train mixed martial arts. West Coast Jiu-Jitsu. Check us out online. www.truegritfit.com. Facebook. Get at me. Give me a call. Text me. Thank you. Love you. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. It is a great pleasure for me to be here with Neon Leon Spinks. With how many wins?
Ooh, 24.
24 wins?
Yeah.
Awesome. Tell me, how and where did Leon Spinks begin boxing?
When I've been in boxing, when I first started boxing in St. Louis.
In St. Louis?
Yeah, I was amateur boxing. And then I kept training going on, so I went to the military and started boxing out of the military.
Awesome. Were you and your brother boxing also?
Yeah, my brother was boxing. We went in the service. I was in the service. I was in the Marine Corps, and he was an amateur.
With 2012 female boxers being accepted in the Olympics, how do you feel about that?
Anybody me long they didn't beat me.
I know that you love helping kids. Why are you passionate about helping kids and feeling like a hero to them?
I love working with kids. I love working with them. Some of them crazy, and we're all retarded, so what the hell?
Awesome. What can you tell me about the fight with Ali?
With the fight with Ali, you know Ali is crazy as usual. So I got a little crazy with him, so but I just made sure he didn't beat me.
Aside from being an awesome boxer, what are you passionate about away from the ring?
Well, away from the ring, it's not a big thing, because I was there for the enjoyment of it, and I was fighting so many guys, and I was fighting all over the world. So I was doing pretty good in boxing.
So you did really good in boxing, but is there any other passion away from the ring?
Well, I dance, I sing, and I try to act a little cute.
Do you sing professionally, or do you have rhythm?
Yeah, I got rhythm.
Can I hear a little bit?
No, I can't sing a little bit. I got a
You have an amazing sense of humor. I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah, how did you feel about being part of this amazing event?
Oh, I like this event. I like that the people all get together and do things together and work out together.
What advice do you want to give to professional boxers that want to get to where you were at?
Well, I would want them to mind business, do their thing, and come from the heart when they do it.
Amazing, to come from the heart and be passionate about that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, don't mess with me. I might change my mind.
You guys heard it. You guys heard it from the best. Awesome advice. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you, sweetheart.
Hi everyone. Here we are with Victoria Perez, also known as Vicky. Vicky, tell us about your accomplishments.
One of my biggest accomplishments was probably most recently in 2012. I was invited to fight first time internationally in Canada, and where I won a silver medal. These two are from pretty local tournaments. Some of my first, this is national tournaments, and this is from my first national title here in Oxnard.
Well, how do you feel about receiving all this recognition for male-dominant sports?
It's an honor. I'm honored to be able to show people, men and women, that this can be done by women also. And it's, even though it is a male-dominant sport, it's not it's not solely for men, and women can do it too.
Awesome. I'm very impressed, and I'm honored to be here as a female, and I'm very impressed with all these. Check this out. Look. Awesome.
You can ask all the guys in here. He's probably got a little bit too much space now.
Vicky, and how can people get a hold of you?
You can find me Monday through Friday at Real Deal Boxing 805. It's in Oxnard off of Woolley and Pacific. I'm there from 5 to 8 every day.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for being a role model to all the females out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.